Good afternoon and welcome to the Chartreuse Leprechaun. My name is Mark, your host, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're coming into the holidays and we're kind of between games, so I wanted to play something that would be just kind of a single thing, just kind of a show off. So we're going to take a look at Banished. It's another game from back in 2014. It was actually done by one developer. Shining Rock Software is the company, and they haven't done anything else, but according to the dev blog on October last year, 2019, he's working on upgrades, but nothing new yet. The game, people came from somewhere else to somewhere, and they're setting up at a new location, and you get to choose all the stuff that's going on. In Chartreuse Leprechaun terms, it would be something like this. The Chartreuse Leprechaun banished, well, he claims to have banished a group of people. Why? Well, that's a little fuzzy. The people claim they got tired of his shenanigans, and the Chartreuse Leprechaun, well, who could blame him? I mean, after all, he's not really very nice. If you followed any of his antics here, there was the attempted theft of supplies from Roman and Katya during this war of mine. There was the attempted destruction of the Aurora and the actual destruction of the Sunbeam and Subnautica. I mean, well, let's face it, he's been pretty busy. But the Chartreuse Leprechaun claims he banished them, and that's what the records are going to show. So, yeah, that's how this works in terms of the Chartreuse Leprechaun. Now, in terms of the game itself, like I said, the people came from somewhere. It's never defined, never explained. And you're setting them up in a new location. You get to choose all the stuff. There is the, there we go. Oh, I don't like that village name. Tell you what, we'll call this Somewhere. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll call this Somewhere. There we go. I have no idea how it comes up with some of these village names, but you know, it's a village name. What do you want? Anyway, so you get to choose pretty much everything. You can have valleys or mountains. Valleys means there's lots of farmland. Mountains means there's not. Difficulties in feeding your people, of course, come from that. Terrain size, you have small, medium, and large. Large is very large. You can do a lot. We're going to go with medium for our playthrough. Climate conditions, you can have mild, you can have fair, or you can have harsh. And quite literally that means exactly what it says. You can have like next to nothing in terms of bad weather. You can have some bad weather, or you can have lots of bad weather. We'll go with fair. Disasters are interesting. It's an interesting element to the game. You can have tornadoes, fires, disease. You can wipe out a pasture. You can wipe out a crop field. You can wipe out people. And there's no rhyme or reason as to when it strikes. I've had entire playthroughs with this on, and nothing happened. On the other hand, I started one playthrough, and I think I got as far as building the first house, and a tornado showed up. You never know. But it's interesting. And then you have starting conditions. Now the starting conditions deals with how many people you get and what kind of stuff they start with. So we'll take a look at these. You can see it in the box here. An easy game begins with 6 families, large amounts of food, clothing, firewood, so forth. Homes are already built. Storage areas are already built. You can do seeds, orchards, and you get a herd of livestock. That can be cows, that can be chickens, that can be sheep. You never know. Medium, which is where we plan to play through, or where I plan to show this game off at. Medium, you start with 5 families. You get some clothing, food, firewood, and so forth. You get a storage barn, you get some seeds, but you don't get any livestock. And in hard conditions, you start with 4 families, small amounts of stuff, and nothing is built. You don't have any seeds. You start from scratch. That's a rough one to do. I'm not going to do that. We're going to do medium. And we're going to be in the valleys with a medium size. Fair climate, yeah, Midland climate is good. And disasters will be turned on. And this is the fun part of this game. I enjoy what it does for the opening, so we're going to show this one off as opposed to skip it like I do in Subnautica, because if you watch that one episode where I inadvertently put the raw video up there, that loading screen is long. But this one is fun. So we'll watch this. I want you to pay attention down at the bottom where it says loading, pollinating flowers, finding a path to the river, milking the cows, putting clouds in the sky. Fun stuff. All right. So before we go too much further, let's take a look at what we've got going on. This is our control bar, our menu bar. This controls the speed of the game. You could set that speed to 10x. Then you have your control board. I keep these two items open personally. This tells me where I have everybody assigned. This tells me what resources I've got. This is my logs. This is my firewood. This is my food. Here is my stone and my iron, my tools, my clothes, stored medicine, textiles, that's stuff ready to make clothes, raw materials for that, and so forth. All that's up there. Your average health, how happy everybody is, and your weather. Right now it's 37 degrees and sunny, and that's 37 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm here in the States. We use Fahrenheit. I know not everybody else does. Yeah. I've actually gotten pretty good at making the conversions. I just don't want to do it because it's annoying. So let's take a look at the map. This is a medium map. We'll just kind of scroll around the map real quick. You get an idea that it's pretty large, and we are roughly right smack in the middle of it. This is actually a good location because you want to be on a river if you want to build a trade depot. You want to be someplace you can fish. You want to be someplace you can build fields, houses, and have lots of room to grow and develop. So that's actually a good thing. So this is your event. Going back through the menu bar, by the way, we have the statistics thing in the upper left where I put it. This is a log, an event of your logs. This is the log of all the events in the game that have gone on. It's an overhead map of the area. Take a look at that. That's this right here. Shows you if you ever get lost on the map, this is one way to figure out where you need to be. I don't actually use it that much. Every place you build has a storage limit. Okay? This is how much of something you can have. So I generally just go through and just put massive numbers in there, because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to build something and it's going to hit that 200 limit and it's going to stop making stuff. And if you're not paying attention, that can come back to bite you, like say firewood. Because you're with a 200 limit, that's not going to last long if you have a lot of people in your village. Yeah, I don't think we need, well, okay, 50,000 gallons of alcohol. Yeah, sure, why not? All right, we'll close that. What did we have here? Increased priority. Something, if you've got projects that are getting done, you can decide builders build this one first, second, third, fourth, and so forth. This shows the paths that your people are walking. You can take a screenshot. Let's see. I don't actually know what that does. Okay. This is for building houses. You can build a wood house, a stone house, and a boarding house, and you'll notice inside each pop-up box it tells you what resources are needed. 100 wood and 45 stone in this case for a boarding house. These are your roads. You can have a tunnel, you can have a bridge, stone path, or a dirt path. Dirt path costs nothing in terms of resources. They just pound down the grass, I guess. This is your where you keep stuff. You can have a storage barn, which that's this thing right here. And right now it's got 30 coats, 40 tools, and 1,800 units of potatoes in there. And then you have a storage stockpile, which is this little icon right here. And that's where you, well, store whatever it is you gather. And then you have a marketplace. Now, marketplace is interesting because what happens if you gather stuff, it all goes back to the storage barn and the stockpile. If you have a marketplace, your vendors will go pull it from there, take it to the market, and everybody goes to the market to get whatever they need. Otherwise, they go to the storage barn and the stockpile, which in some cases, once you get big enough, can be a long way, and that's not necessarily a good thing. And finally, you have the trading post, and that's where you'll have guys come down the river in a boat, and they'll dock at your trader post, and you can swap stuff with them if they've got stuff you want. You cannot sell them stuff just to sell them stuff. It doesn't work that way. It's this whole thing is a barter-style economy, I guess is the best way to put it. Close that, move on. You can build wells, you can build a school, a hospital, a town hall. Now the town hall comes with the ability to have nomads join your village. So that's one of the ways you can get your population up in a hurry to meet various achievement goals. It takes a lot to build it, as you can see. 62 wood, 124 stone, 48 iron. And then there's the church. That does a lot to keep your people happy, by the way. And a cemetery, which strangely enough does the same thing. You do have a limit to how many you can put in a cemetery, and so you can end up with several of them. There's actually an achievement for filling up cemeteries. Go figure that one out. It's a little on the dark side. Next, you have how you get food. Crops, obviously, you can grow fields, orchards, fruit trees, pecans, things of that nature. If you have them, you can build pastures for livestock. As I said, chickens, cows, and sheep, I think, are the only ones you get. You can build a fishing dock. You can put it on the lake, you can put it on the creek, you can put it on the river. You can also build a hunting cabin out in the woods to trap and whatnot. And then you have a gatherer's hut, and they're basically out in the woods, and their goal is to gather the nuts and the berries and the onions and the mushrooms and stuff like that. Next, you have, these are the working items. You have the woodcutter, you have the forester. Now, what the forester does, their job is to harvest trees, to manage the forest, so that you get enough wood out, but you don't deplete the forest, and it grows, and stays healthy. Next, you have an herbalist, that's where you get your herbs and medicines from. Next, you have a blacksmith, and I didn't want to do that. There we go. You have a blacksmith. They make your tools. Don't run out of tools. That's a bad thing. We'll possibly see that as we go along. A tailor, when you need clothes. Strangely enough, the tailor only makes coats. I assume shoes and pants and shirts you can wear those forever, but you have to have a coat. And of course, you can have a tavern if you so desire. Last two are a mine for iron or coal, and a quarry so that you can mine stone. Looking at this location, and last, this is your harvesting. How you can get stuff from the land. You can remove everything from a given area. You can take just the trees, just the stone, just the iron. You can remove roads that you put in place. You can move buildings that you put in place. And you can stop yourself from removing anything in a given area. Let's say I said harvest all of that, and then I changed my mind. I click on this, I come back, and it's gone. See? There you go. So that's how that works. Now, let's take a look at our location here. We need houses for all these people. Excuse me. That's what that little icon means. Anytime you see an icon over somebody's head, that means they need or want something. In this case, they want housing. So we're going to need to build some houses. We're going to need to build a field because we're going to need to start planting food immediately. And at the same time, I can tell you that, close that, whoops, where did that, I want that one, there we go. I can tell you that these resources will go about far enough to build some houses, but they will not build anything else. So in order to have the woodcutter, the blacksmith, the tailor, and so forth, we're going to have to harvest stuff. Now the good news is, in this area, we've got stuff. So we can clear that out, and we're going to be using that space. The bad news is there aren't any really good locations to do the herbalists, the hunters, and the gatherers. So they're going to be out here somewhere, which is actually kind of a long way away, and that's not a good thing. So anyway, let's lay out a village here. Actually, no, we're going to start with some paths. It really is funny how quickly and easily you can set up houses and stuff. For the initial setup, I do pause the game. After that, I generally don't. So we want one there, we want one there, 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 oops, there, and there. Now, figure each house, you want one for every 2 adults. All right, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I've actually got too many, so we're going to pause that one. In other words, nobody's going to build it. Okay, and we're actually going to go through and pause several of these. We're going to build them a couple at a time. All right, now, second thing we want to do is harvest some resources. Now we know, based on the layout, that we're going to be going out to the river. So let's just go ahead and clear cut that. What did I do? Oh, I said the forest. I don't want the forest, I want everything. Yeah, there we go. I'll just go to the river with all of that. Now, we will unpause the game and speed it up, and now you see what I mean by you can really make this thing hum. And we're going to turn this base into a field, and we're going to grow peppers, and we're going to put 4 farmers out there and get them busy. And then we need builders to build the houses. Oops, we needed 3 farmers. There we go. 2 people have houses, or 4 people rather, because there's 2 houses built. So we'll build 2 more. Do that. Oh, aging. You'll notice up here it tells you it's spring and it's year 1. These people do not age linearly. In other words, year 1 to year 2, I don't know what the progression is, I've never checked, but it's several years, it's not 1. Doesn't make any sense, but that is the way it works. So it's possible in year, I don't know, 7 to 10 that you have, or 20, that you have a rather large drop-off in your population because people die. So plan for that accordingly. There we go. Now we got lots of laborers. Okay, so now we want to get started on our stuff out here. What we're looking for Everybody's happy, everybody's got a house, outstanding. So now, out here, we want to put a forester out here on the edge of town. Because, well, there's not really a good spot for him because that big mountain gets in the way right here. That'll make a good location for a mine, though. Alright, so pause for a second. Yeah, there's really not a good location here, and I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. What I'm wanting to do is build everything so that a marketplace can connect it all. So if I was going to, not that one, there we go, marketplace. You see the big circle around the marketplace? That means anything in that circle will eventually feed stuff into the marketplace. Okay? Now my problem is, at the moment, I would have to put it out here. Ish, because there's no space here where I would have, because you don't want to disturb the forest, the rocks, all of that fun stuff where you're going to be hunting and gathering. So if I put my hunters and gatherers out here, I can't put the marketplace here because that will disturb all of that. So I have to put it out here, which means all this stuff is outside the radius of, yeah, dilemmas. So now I want to take that off the map because that was for demonstration purposes. That, by the way, is how you remove something if you put it where you don't want it to be. So, well, let's come back here. We know we need the blacksmith or the woodcutter, because as you can see, we are already down to 50 wood. Now, that's not horrible because what happens is everybody comes and gathers stuff and puts it in their house. So, yeah, it's not as nutty as it sounds to have it be that low, but you really want to keep that number early on to 300 plus whatever's in the houses. So we'll build us a woodcutter. And our population is growing. We're already in need of this other house. So we'll go ahead and open that up. Do not, by the way, build houses every time you need people. You want to be behind that list a little bit. We'll explain why in a little while, but right now that's just the important part. So we need forester. Yeah, we'll put him there, and then put our hunters. Yeah, we'll put them right there, and we'll put the gatherer's hut right there with them. We'll do that. Pause that one because we've got a lot of construction going on at the moment. Actually, we're going to repause that house. We don't need that just now. And that'll work. And let's get restarted and let everybody get back to work. Right. Oh, that was a lot of projects. Forgot about that one. Whoops. By the way, if you do that and you click somewhere on the map, that'll go away. But if you move it, it'll stay there till you close it. which is kind of a good way to keep track of your building projects when you've got several going. There's the woodcutter, excellent. We'll get him, we'll assign somebody there and get them going. There's our foresters, so we can get rid of that. And we'll put 2 people in there. And there's our hunters. We'll put 2 people in there. I don't know why I did that, because I still want that. There we go. And that'll get our food ticking back up. Our woodcutter's rocking right along there. That's good news. It takes a while for the foresters to get going because they're planting the trees now and they're going to mature as they go along. Then they harvest some dead ones over time. So it is entirely possible for your woodcutter and eventually your blacksmith and your woodcutter to run out of wood if you're waiting on that. So be prepared to harvest trees from some other locations. There's our gatherers. We can have 4. And we can put those guys back in the labor pool. Outstanding. Autumn. Still out of food? Really? Oh, that's not good. Alright, so looks like we got some wood going on. We've got... My goodness, everybody took all the food to their house. It's a little bit of a problem. Alright, we'll turn the woodcutter off because we're up at about 300 something wood. So we're good. We do, on the other hand, have a little bit of construction we need to do. So we're going to harvest some trees. We'll take those. And we'll take those. And we'll take those. Yeah. There we go. Stored food. We got some. Good deal. That means our hunters and gatherers are doing their job. Excellent. We're going to need an herbalist. Our health is ticking down, which, no big shock. It's winter, right? So the herbalist we'll put out here as well. Same rules apply, by the way. You don't want to have it in a high traffic area because otherwise there's not going to be anything to gather. It will just wither away. So yeah, they're doing a great job. Look at that food tick up. That's awesome. All right. So, coming up to the end of year 1. Every year starts with the spring, by the way. Now, our problem is we're about to run out of people that we can assign to tasks and locations and such. This says we have 13 adults, we have 0 students, we have no school, so there are no students, and there are 8 children. We're going to need 1 herbalist. That's usually enough to make everything work until you get really big, and then you'll want a couple of them. There's our farmers going back to work. Good deal. And we need to put our woodcutter back to work. And we need an herbalist to go gather stuff. That's awesome. And always leave yourself a couple of people to do the work. Hey, somebody grew up. We have another adult. Well, that's cool. Let's go ahead and make that next house. Oh, we got another one. Cool deal. Population growth. That, by the way, is the goal of this game. You want to either grow or stabilize your population, depending on what you're trying to do. And we ran out of wood. Well, that didn't take long. That's actually a problem. So, yeah. Well, means our woodcutter is having problems keeping up with demand. And we ran out of food again come spring. Fantastic. I guess maybe with the snow being gone, everybody went shopping. Okay, and that. Okay, so our people are very happy. Health is ticking down, but we've got medicines coming in, herbs and so forth. And that will generally take care of that. I built a hospital at one point in one playthrough. Don't recall that it actually ever came up being needed, to be honest. I don't remember. So, the general theory on this game is you want to build in pods. You want to have houses where your people are going to be working. You want to have a storage place. You want to have a stockpile, marketplace, maybe a trading post. And you build these in different places as you go along. And in doing so, you keep each area or segment of the map stable in terms of population growth and so forth. So yeah, it's give and take as to whether that's actually what you want to do, but it does seem to work. This is actually a badly laid out pod because of the way this section works to go with it. We may be playing long enough to get another pod in. 16 people now, that's good. Let's go ahead. We're going to need a blacksmith now because we're going to need tools. I always put all my working things over here. Call it industry row, if you will, I guess. I don't know. If you're into that sort of thing, you know, let's name our streets. This game, by the way, doesn't give you the ability to do that, but, you know, totally up to you. What am I looking for? That one? That one, yeah. I want a tailor. Need a tailor. And, yeah, we actually need a tailor more than we need a blacksmith, so let's pause that. And we're in trouble for wood, so we're going to cut some more territory that we know we're going to use. We're going to be down here sooner or later. So let's go ahead and cut that. Actually, you know what? Let's just cut it back to there. We'll take everything. We'll take the rock, the stone. Oh, we ran out of stone. Oh, nice. I wonder if that can hold... a quarry. Not quite. Nope, can't put a quarry in there. Well, getting enough stone may be a problem. I can turn the woodcutter off. We're back to 300 plus. And we got more workers. Oops. There they are, building the road. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and build a bridge to go over the river. That sounds fun. 52 wood, 13 stone. Sure, why not? Why did I pause that? I need that. Well, that wasn't good. And we'll give us a bunch of workers. It's winter, so actually what happens is the farmers become part of your labor force. So you're not actually out of people and stuff to do things. So we're just looking for stone at this point. Ah, that's a problem. So a lot of stone on the other side of the river, but we will clear that. And well, I hate to do it, but let's pause that because we can come over here and get all this stone if we get the bridge built. So yeah, let's work on the bridge. And all the stone went to the tailor. Oh, that didn't help. That's a big problem, actually. Well, I guess we'll do that. And then hopefully that gets us enough to build that bridge. Then we'll harvest the stone, this lot of stuff right here. And I hope. Really? One stone short. Wow. That's a problem. Oh, they found one. Oh, that's outstanding. Okay. Well, let's get that bridge built so we can get over there and get the iron and the stone. We're gonna clear cut this section right here. I'm thinking a trading post right here and a marketplace right here. Sounds like a really good idea. So we will clear cut that. Yeah, there we go. And we'll come back here and we'll set up a tailor. There we go. Okay, and we still have firewood, no food. My goodness, it's summer. I hope everybody's got a house full. Oh yeah, yeah, good deal. I keep forgetting to check the houses, and I look at the number up here that says there is 0 stored food. And I forget to look in the houses to see what everybody's got in their cupboard. And yeah. So, let's go ahead and put, there it is. It'll actually let me put it right there. So we'll do that, and then we'll pause it. Let everybody keep gathering the stuff. They've already put 45 logs on that location? Wow. Oh, the icon's down here. This is telling you your storage area is full. Maybe we need to unblock that one, huh? What do we need? I'm out of stone? Still? Oh my goodness. Alright, fine. We'll take that stone and we'll take that stone. I'm being judicious about what I pull out of where because, well, I need to make sure that I don't screw things up for the next pod, which is probably going to go out here. Next group of houses. Probably put one more house in here, maybe 2. Because we're starting to run behind. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We got 21 adults. Yeah, that's a problem. Just a small problem. No big deal, right? Sure. Taylor, there we go. We got 42 textiles. We got 2. Ooh, now I'm in trouble. See this little icon right here? That says the tool they have is really poor. I did not turn the blacksmith back on when I needed to. That was not good. And we're out of firewood, so we need a wood cutter. Yeah, I kind of screwed up. Okay. Pause that. And pause that. And what am I missing over here? Nothing. Oh, wood. Oh, fantastic. We're out of wood. Oh, that's not good. That's like really not good. And the problem is I'm taking everybody over here to get the resources, which is a long way from our storage location. Hence the idea of another pod of houses, whatnot, storage and everything over here. So, yeah, we got a problem. Food doesn't seem to be an issue, which is a good thing. Ah, we filled that up. Excellent. Outstanding. Outstanding. That's a good thing. We have... Okay. We have... And our problem is still stone. Oh, for crying out loud. Are you serious? Now, this is where we start getting into a conundrum. Because the blacksmith and the woodcutter use wood. They both need a lot of it. So keeping up with that can be tough. Go ahead and harvest those trees, because if we don't, they're not going to have any wood. And we got to make tools, because we're out. And we got 30 garments, number of stored clothes. We have 21 people, so we're good there. We can take Taylor back off that assignment, let him go to the labor pool to go gather stuff. Take those 2 builders off because we're not building that house at the moment. Stone. Oh goodness, we gotta have some stone. Oh, there's some stone. Let's go get that stone. What? What is that? That's iron, that's not stone. Oh, fun. I don't need iron at the moment. Well, there's a rock. Really? I never told him to go get that iron? Huh, how about that? Let's, go ahead and get those trees. Now the thing about harvesting the trees, that's not so bad because you can put those back. You put a forester out there, they replant trees, harvest, and so forth. It takes a while, but it can be done. So, stone. Gotta have stone. That's all iron. Oh my gosh, look at all that iron. A little bit of stone there. Go ahead and take that stone. Oh my goodness. Oh, they really are full. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to build a small stockpile location there so people can put stuff there. Oh, and now we're running out of food. Oh my gosh, that's bad. We'll bump up those. Yeah. And Taylor, blacksmith. There we go. We have some wood. We turn him off for the moment. We have wood, we have iron. We're going to need more wood. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Not going the way I wanted it to. But we're running surpluses on pretty much everything, so that's good. Alright, so time to start thinking about our next pod location, whatever you want to call it, and I mentioned we wanted to look into putting it out here. So we're going to do a setup, and we'll pause. I'll normally do this while the game is running, but for our purposes, since we're talking our way through all of this, I'm going to pause. We're going to put another hunter out here. Where'd that one go? Yeah, that's actually a really good location for that. Outstanding. Pause that. And wanted another gatherer out here. Well, yeah, that should work. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so now we're set up so that we can go and start essentially a new village. They're all part of the same city, kind of like suburbs. Think of it as suburbs. Yeah, that'll work. And we'll put a couple of houses out here where all these people are going to be working. And 3, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to need one more house out there. I can turn it on immediately. Oops. Yeah, we'll do that. 6. Yeah, we could make that work. Now, that one will need its own storage barn because that is a long way from there. Okay? Pardon me. So, come back over here. And we look at a storage barn. There. And a storage pile. There. Okay. And now we'll restart. And we'll let that run. And hopefully we can continue on without running out of stuff. Which is late autumn, 178 firewood, 40 logs. Ooh, between him and the blacksmith, that's going to be tough. 31, 29. Yikes, that's not looking good. Fortunately, there's nobody hungry. That reminds me back to the icons. Pause again. You see this one is tools. You'll see a snowflake if they're cold. You'll see a knife and a fork if they're hungry. That's pretty much the way this works. And what you want to do anytime you get those icons up, obviously you need to focus on a resource. Right now we're focused on tools, or that's my concern. But that is ticking down, so this is a good thing. I've had situations where it didn't tick down. It just kept getting worse. So, yeah. There's 3 tools, 1, 2, so now we're down to 1 guy with a bad tool. Outstanding. And we have storage going on over here. Why is storage already going on over here? That shouldn't be happening. Huh. Well, let's go ahead and finish that house. And then where do we start over here? Preferably with, uh-oh, we ran out of wood, we ran out of stone. Well, that's a problem. On the other hand, we have another house we can build. So that's good. I'd like to know where this stone just keeps cropping up from, but we'll go ahead and build that house too. Or come close anyway. We only had 7 stone? Yeah. Well. Tell you what, we're going to take that one off. And we're going to take that one off. And we're going to open up a house. We're going to let up a lot of people go to work. Okay, there we go. We got that. And we didn't run out of firewood, so this is good. And we didn't run out of tools. Wait a minute, we got 20 tools stored up? Outstanding. Well, then we don't need a blacksmith at the moment. That is outstanding. So now we have a slightly larger labor force. This is good. Move that over there. We'll move that down here. We'll move that one over here. Now, we haven't talked about this screen. So this is there stuff there? Trees, rocks, boulders, whatever. You got to remove that. Then you got to bring in the wood. Then you got to bring in the stone. Then you can build it. Not necessarily in that order, but the remove always comes first. So wood and stone will pile up as the wood and stone piles up. It's just the way it works. Let's go ahead and pause that. And we ran everybody out of wood. Outstanding. We did it again. Oh, now we got somebody who's hungry. That's a problem. We're back to needing stone, huh? Oh, we got a lot of hungry people. That's not good. Year 5, okay. I don't really want to clean out that forest because I want the gatherers and such. Forester Lodge, no. That one, Gatherer's Hut. Alright, so we could take the rock out of there because that's outside the radius of where that's going to go. That'll work. Okay. Uh-oh, we got people dying. Starvation. Sherry the Builder. Josephine the Builder. Miley the Builder. Uh-oh, that's not good. I've yet to understand how it decides when somebody passes which particular job they were in. But this is the thing you're guarding against. We're already down to a labor force of 18 from 22. So, yeah. Bit of a problem. And it's not necessarily starvation, by the way. It could be they died, they were actually old. Yeah, it's not going to tell me. There wasn't there something? Log of events? Yeah, it's not telling me what I want to know either. Alright. Let's pause the game and take a look at something here. Let's find some people. Oh, there's somebody. So, 35, happy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You can check in on your individual people. There was somebody. There we go. No. I thought there was somebody there. Yeah, that's somebody. Who's that? 24. Age 1. Running around at age 1. That's scary. For any parent out there, that is frightening. Yes? 40. Okay. So, yeah, you can actually keep track of all of that if you so desire. I'll let those run. Alright, so that's ready to build. That's good. More wood to make that happen. That's good. We're still good on tools, clothes. 19, we got one back. We need a birthing wave, which means we need... Well, no, we're actually good on houses. 2, 4, 6, 7 is 14. 19. Yeah, we're actually pretty good. Okay. Like I said, yeah, I've always counted in terms of 2 adults per a house, just cause. Historically, in ancient societies, you built a house when you got married, and you started to have kids, so 2 people to a house. That may be a westernized view, that may be an incorrect view, but that's what history taught me. So, for what it's worth. Let's build them some pathways over here. Yeah, let's do that. Now we need some builders. And we need the woodcutter back. Because it's winter and we're running really low on stored firewood. Alright, one of the things that happens when you build a second location, you'll notice I've got, where do I have it? 3 hunters. And it says I can have 6. I can have 3 to a building. So there's actually 1 over here and 2 in the other one now. So it just, when you build a new thing, it splits whatever your current labor force is and puts them all in that. So now, we need a house over here. And the woodcutter's back out of wood, so we're popping him in and out of the labor force just so we can keep people working and keep building as needed, because the people over there need a house. So early spring, hey, the planters and farmers are getting ready to work. Should be about time to start another field. Back up to 20 workers, that's a good thing. A bit more wood there. And a little bit more wood there. Come on. Oh, I love my labor force. My villagers, they're so diligent. Yeah, that's a good word for it. Diligent. Yeah. I like that word. And we're going to put that one there because sooner or later we're going to build that trading post, I hope. This one's going to run pretty long because there really is, you spend more time watching this game than you do anything else. It's a fun city builder. That's really what it is. With a different dynamic because, you know, you're in the middle of nowhere and you get to start from scratch. Or not. Or really from scratch. So there we go. That one's occupied. Who's in there? Forester and a laborer. Okay. And then what do we want to do here? We want to put the woodcutter back to work. And we need to put the blacksmith back to work. And let's go ahead and put the tailor back to work. Because here is where we build this. The wood is there. We need a lot more stone. Again, the stone. It's killing me. Let's go get those. And I guess go get some of those. And yeah, see, all the people out here are hungry because they have to come all the way in here to get food. That's a problem. So what we want to do is actually build, darn it, our market. It's not the best location, but that's probably where we want to put it this time. Oh, look, more people. Starvation, starvation. Yeah, I'm doing a terrible job of keeping food. So oh, yeah, fields. The biggest you can make them is 15 by 15, and I didn't plan that one out very well because it's only that worked out to be 10 by 12, so it's really insufficient. So what we're going to do, we're going to come over here by the market, and we're going to build a real one. That'll get us a little bit of wood. And we're gaining on it with stone. Please tell me I've harvested enough stone for this. And the tailor's out of stuff. No, he's not. Okay. Still bringing stuff in. Outstanding. So we'll make some more peppers because we don't have any other seeds. And again, the farmers are split between the fields. So we have to... Uh-oh. We are out of laborers now. We have no spare workers because of our problems with food and such. So... what you have to do at this point, because you must have laborers, okay? Oh, we can turn off the blacksmith. We got plenty of same with the tailor. Outstanding. So now we have some laborers. Foresters are something you can pull your people from if you need them for something else. Let's say, well, laborers. You can always clear cut some area around town, and your forester can put it back once they start working that again. It's not the optimum solution, but you can do it, and it does work. So, yeah. We're still short some stone. Oh, okay, but we still got these little X's here, meaning they're going to harvest it. Okay, cool. So we should, there's enough stone. So now I need builders. Just so happens I have 4 builders. That's outstanding. And now we need to start thinking about what we're going to put in our trading post so that we can trade with people who come to, well, trade. And we also have to staff it. So we're going to have to keep somebody there. And technically, you only have to have somebody there to trade. If there's nobody, if nobody has come down the river to trade, you don't have to have anybody there. So here's where we decide what we're going to have on hand. So put some firewood. We'll put some iron. Yeah, we'll go with some leather since, and I'll explain what I'm doing here in just a second. We'll put a little bit of stone. No, we won't either because we never seem to have enough stone. We'll put some logs in there. Put some coats. Put some tools because we can spare them. Okay. Alright, so here's what we did. Pause this so we can explain this. Oh, and some venison. Alright, so here's what we're doing, and you can raise and lower these numbers as the game goes on. But tools, coats, firewood, those are almost always sellable. Food, sometimes. Depends on the trader. So I keep some of that. A lot of times later in the game, as I've built up my storehouses, what I'll do is I'll keep berries and herbs and mushrooms and whatnot in there as I call it an emergency stockpile, because you can always lower it to 0 and whatever it was will go back to the storehouse or the marketplace, as the case may be, and then the people can eat it or use it. So what I'm looking at up here, I have lots of iron, so we can put some iron in here. Where did iron? There it is. Actually, I do not want to use all my iron. We'll do that. The blacksmith is going to need some iron, so we want to keep the supply going. Tools, clothes. Clearly we've got some to spare. We got 21 people. We don't need 40 tools. We need 20 some odd tools at the moment. I didn't put any medicines in there. Generally not a whole lot of, or medicine, excuse me, there we go. There's generally not a whole lot of call for that among traders. There's food. Clearly we don't have much. So, but as they harvest the peppers, there's going to be a surplus, and we're going to put some in there. Like I said, we can trade with it, or it's an emergency stockpile. The same with the firewood and the logs, although those are really, really good trade items. There have been days I've got like 600-800 firewood, 300-400 logs in here, just because I can, actually. So, but that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing it. So, in order to get those things there, I have to have somebody to work it. Okay, now that would be traders. We have 0 of 6, but I have no workers. So we're going to take all of those guys out, and we're going to put one guy in there. Now he's going to run around and gather all that stuff and put it in the trading post. Okay, that's what he does. And you'll see a guy run around with a wheelbarrow going to various locations and coming back there. There he goes. If I zoom in, oh, he's not, there he goes. There's the wheelbarrow. The guy with the wheelbarrow. Okay. Off he goes. Gather stuff. There he goes, going back. Really interesting graphics and action graphics, I guess is the way to put it, if you get into the details like that. I happened to notice it one day, got a good laugh out of it, and the only question is, when may the traders show up? And there's not an answer for that. So we'll go ahead and not a lot else we can do there. With the labor force we've got at the moment, there really isn't anything else we can successfully build without overtaxing the labor force. So what we need is more children and, you know, growing up, becoming adults, and so forth. And then we need somebody to come down the river to trade. By the way, you can follow the river all the way up to wherever it starts on the map, which would be here, and you'll see a guy come down in a rowboat. Yes, an actual rowboat. So, uh-oh, we're losing more people. Starvation. Not good. So we are completely out of laborers. That is a bad thing. Now we're going to have to start borrowing from other places. Has he got that thing stocked up yet? Trade. Not really. Okay. Alright. We'll leave him there and let him keep working. And yeah, see, there go the peppers. See how much difference that extra field makes? So what we're going to do is we're going to raise that to 300. And now that the pepper supply is in and people can have enough of that, you're going to see some other things change. There will be more of other stuff, the onions, the mushrooms, the venison, and so forth. So that's a good thing. Trade. Oh, when somebody shows up, what you're going to see is he's got this, you've got this. This is what you have, this is what it's worth, and you trade till it balances. Hopefully, we get somebody to come in. Pretty much seen the dynamics on how this whole thing works. I was hoping to see a trade person, and you can tell already that the disaster graphics, it's really hit or miss whether you're going to have any. We haven't had anybody get sick. We haven't had a tornado. None of that. So I don't know. Not sure what the rhyme or reason is behind that. Like I said, I had a tornado immediately in one playthrough, and I had nothing through an entire playthrough. So I don't know. see here. We need to make another house. We need to make firewood. And we need to make more tools. Fortunately, oh, there's our trader. Here he comes. So he docks, and I get a little blue icon down here that says, hey, there's a merchant that's arrived at the trading post. He has iron. We do not need iron. So what we're going to do, now you have the ability to, you know, what would you like this guy to bring you? And different ones are going to have different stuff. So is there anything on this list we would like this guy to try and find for us? Yeah, we'd like to have some coal. We'd like to have a lot of coal. That's really good for making iron tools, or steel tools. And go for some warm coats. And you know what? Warm coats are made with leather and wool. Wool coats are, well, they're wool. So, you know what? We're not going to be playing long enough that that's going to matter. So, but you can do it. You can get in here and say, hey, I would particularly like to have these items every visit, on your next visit, whatever, and he will attempt to get them for you. But we're not going to be playing that much longer for him to come back. I forget the cycle, but I think it's every other trader, or I think there's 3 of them that come through in a cycle. The cycle varies. I don't want to say it's random, but it seems that way. Anyway, we don't need the iron. He doesn't have anything else we need, and we're not just going to sell him stuff to sell him stuff because the game won't let you. So we're going to send him on his merry way, and then we're going to do that. And we need 2 people to build that house over there. And we got plenty of tools. We can take the blacksmith off again. We got our 20 leather. Yes, we do. We're building our stock on all this stuff. Outstanding. Inventory, we wanted 100 iron. We got it. 300 pepper. We got it. 100 logs. Do we have that? We have 100 logs. Okay. Yeah, we're slowly building up what we wanted for a stockpile in there for trading. That's a house. Don't need a house. Would like another. Well, actually, we don't need the gatherer's hut, do we? Interesting dilemma. Since we have that extra pepper field, we're not running out of food. What that means is we don't need the extra gatherer's hut, and we can probably bump up our hunters for more meat and more leather while taking down our gatherers 1 notch. That works. We do, on the other hand, need more wood. So we'll go ahead and build the Forester Lodge over here. And died in childbirth. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer. There's no way to go. We'll cut down that wood. Because remember, we knocked down our foresters because we were running out of labor. We'll bump that back up. It's not going to matter, actually, as far as that goes. In the immediate term, that's more of a long-term deal that they managed to keep up with your need for wood and so forth. Yeah, there we are. We're gaining on it. Okay. And when that Forester Lodge is built, you're going to see one person show up in here. There's going to be two in the other one, so we're going to have to raise that workforce. And now we'll go ahead and leave the trader there. Take those guys out, and we get 1 of 4. So we're going to put 2 guys in there. There's 2 in each place. So now what happens is this guy is going to be harvesting trees to put here. This guy is harvesting trees to put here, which lets growth in both places go on. Hopefully. So I haven't even hardly used my right hand for this, let alone my left. This is pretty good. But as I said, we're coming into the holidays. This one I think will be airing the weekend before the 4th of July. We'll see. I got a couple of fun ideas for one on the weekend of the 4th of July, or at least that Monday rather, when the next episode would air. So yeah, we'll have some fun. I drag a few extra voices in to play a game that I haven't played. Got a couple of those that would work to do with an audience, with everybody coaching everybody else, and the free-for-all of ideas. That's kind of fun. We'll see. And that should actually take care of most of our... Oh yes, look at that food, 1,200. Oh yes. Yes, we're doing fine. 36, so what we're going to do, leather is actually a hot commodity, so we're going to bump that up. And then turn our tailor back on, because we're down to almost 0. And we need the blacksmith to start again. And yeah, we'll go with that. Go ahead and trim some trees over here. Probably this episode's probably going to run about an hour and a half. Just kind of playing with it. This is really a play game, something to not quite the level of a time waster, but oh, that's not good. Our happiness is dropping down, but our health is coming up. So yeah, trade-offs. Taylor ran out of stuff. Okay. How did he run out of stuff? Oh, we still got leather coming in, so we're okay. Oh, I know what happened. Our merchant over the trading post came and grabbed all the surplus. I forgot about that. And tools. Yeah, let's go ahead and bump the tools up. And coats are at 20. We don't need to do anything more with that. Take the firewood up a little bit. Need that wood supply to get steady again. That's what we need. 2 laborers. So I can't put any more people into Forester. Darn it. Okay, well, people in the labor force. I can't trim anybody else down. Well, technically I could take the hunters and gatherers down again. Actually, the gatherers. I need the hunters because we need the leather. Huh. Tough choice. Let's see what's going on in here. Oh yeah, look at all that. 146 venison, onions, mushrooms, berries, all the good stuff. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to move that up so we can see what's in there. If you don't, oh, I'll show you that one real quick. I'm looking at this and I want to take stuff from here and put it here, but I want to keep an eye on what I've got. If I click on this, it opens that up. I have to move it so that I can have both of them open. So just one of those little tips and tricks. Let's see. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. Do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. Now that's basically, like I said, an emergency food supply for later when things go sour for whatever reason and I run out of food. It is a nice to have resource on the side, let's put it that way. And what do I have in this one? Another 120 venison. Oh, well, let's just bump that up. Okay. And we'll work with that. Okay. So, oh, there we go. Now we got them. Now we got some laborers. So we'll put 2 more in the foresters. And with 2 of those foresters going, we should be in good shape for lumber. Logs, as the game calls it. And, oh man, we're barely making it in terms of clothes, but we should be okay for that. Let's take a look at our stock. Oh yeah, we pretty much got everything we set out to get. That's awesome. Nobody's cold, so we can pull a little bit of extra firewood. And other than that, I think we're good as far as that trading post stock goes. So, alright, and we are in year 9. So, with that in mind, I do want to look at something else real quick. The achievements. Now they've got some interesting achievements here. Population of 300, 600, 900. Obviously I haven't done that. 200 adults for 4 years. Jack of all trades, build a town of 200 with someone working in every profession for at least 5 years. That was fun. And the graveyards. Fill graveyards with at least 400 graves. You'd be amazed how easy that one actually is. But you have to have room for graveyards, and you have to have room for big graveyards. Isolationist, no trading post, no crops, fields, pastures. You just live off the land. Trade 50,000 units of stuff. 2 mines, 30 workers each for 3 years. It's actually not that hard either. This one was interesting, and I don't remember which one I had the problem with. Chickens. My God, chickens will multiply forever if you let them. Getting the cattle and sheep going can be tough. Plus, you have to have a trader come through with whichever one you don't have. Yeah. 50,000 logs in 100 years. Just build the heck out of your foresters. You can do it. Smelter, highwayman, 2,000 stone tiles for your roads. Big bridge. Nomads. Remember I said that if you build the town hall, you have the opportunity to have nomads come into the city. They keep everybody happy, of course, and healthy. And this one, I have tried and tried and tried, and I have not managed to pull this off. I've read guides for this one, and I still haven't pulled it off. So if you want to go for it, be my guest. 300 people after 100 years, 500 people after 2 years. I've made it to 400, 200 years. I haven't made it to 5 yet. We'll see. I've played some 300 hours of this game, and I enjoy it immensely. It's a lot of fun. It's always different, no matter, because there are set maps for this, but the way you get set up, the way you start is always different, and it makes it an excellent challenge. So if you're into city builders, Banished is a good one. There's a lot going on for it. It's easy. It's pretty simple. The mechanics are easy. The graphics are pretty good. And yeah, so I do recommend this game. So if you want to play it, go for it. And I guess we're going to call that an episode. And again, my name is Mark. I'm with the Chartreuse Leprechaun. I do appreciate you spending your time with us. This was a long episode, and I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate that you chose to spend that valuable time with us. So if you like what you've seen, be sure to subscribe and set yourself up for notifications. And in the meantime, we once again appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us here at the Chartreuse Leprechaun. You have a great day and a great week. Bye-bye. Did I go the wrong way? I did. Oh, that's fun. I just went 900 meters in the wrong direction. That was where we wanted to go. Well, fantastic.